Hey, welcome to Brick School. This is the first class, and I'm your instructor, James. So, let's get right into it. The first thing I wanted to talk to you about wasn't how to use bricks, but why you should use bricks. I mean, let's admit, there's a whole lot of options out there now. You've got everything from Elementor to Divi and Beaver Builder, and the list goes on and on and on. So why then should you use bricks? Why not use Elementor? People say it's easier. Well, as often is the case, easier doesn't mean better. So the first reason to use bricks is speed. That is hands down what has brought most people to using bricks. Your site will run faster using bricks. Exactly how much faster, it's hard to tell, but I typically see sites with page scores of 50 to 70 on Elementor coming in at 99 to 100 on bricks. See, more often than not, what's slowing your site down is not what's actually on your page, it's the gibberish that your builder added behind the scenes to try and make your building easier, you not having to learn about padding and things like that. Now, before you freak out, there's not a lot to learn. And that's what makes it so ridiculous as to go learn a system when the actual way of doing it is quite easy. So that kind of works me into the second reason. So you've got your speed, but the biggest thing is, why would you want to learn something a second time? You know, if you've got to learn a builder, it sure would be good to learn the skill sets that are not proprietary. Okay, in Elementor, to add a padding, you're going to click here and you're going to click style, you're going to go down to that box, and you're just learning these steps that only work in Elementor. Then when you go to something else, especially when they have called it, they've come up with a name where, sometimes they're calling it a container, but it's not really a container, it's a box. Or, all these different things that they do to try and either cover up the fact that they don't have certain things, or they're just doing it to make it easier for you. But really, in learning for just a half a second, you will learn enough that you don't need those things, and you'll benefit from having knowledge that applies to any builder. See, it doesn't matter if you're using bricks, or you're writing the code by hand, or you're using some other builder that hasn't been invented yet. The simple fact is they're all using web standards. And the sooner that you can learn a few of the web standards, and by the way, there really is not very many that you need to know to get very consistent, really fast running websites. So don't get blown out by how much has to be learned. What you should be excited about is what you're about to learn is going to be applicable into the future. It's not just for this one builder. So once you've changed your mind about that, it gets a lot less fearful to, say, oh, I'm going to spend a day and learn all about containers or whatever, because then you'll know it going forward. And not just because of bricks, because of every web thing that you'll do in the future. The sponsor of today's video is Bricksschool. It is a website that I've created to give you really good templates to use for bricks no matter what framework you use, be it Core Framework, ATF, ACSS, or even Brickstyler, which is actually included for free with Bricksschool. So you get the consistency, plus you get really usable sections. Everything from cards to heroes to tables, everything you're going to need to make your site look better. So if you want to support the channel, support Bricksschool. Now, there's other reasons to use bricks too. One of which is it's a pretty good community. People are very helpful. There's a lot of advanced users using it, and they're more than happy to help people that are just starting out. But again, I need you to keep in mind, Bricks is not just for advanced users. Somewhere along the lines that got that kind of reputation, but it's simply not true. Anybody can use Bricks. Simple as that, full stop. Now, the next reason does happen to be a little bit more of an advanced subject, but it's very important to know that it's there, and that's dynamic data. Dynamic data is simply having stuff in a database that you put out to your page. And it is the cornerstone to having consistent, fast builds where you can have an entire website together very, very quickly, especially as you get into larger sites where maybe there's hundreds of pages, but also even if you just have 20 or 30 things that you need to really show in a very clean and concise way, using dynamic data allows you to do that. And it's so much easier than going and fixing things manually. Couldn't even imagine doing that, because using Bricks and WordPress as a whole, it allows for such rapid development. So using dynamic data, I have used Bricks to build everything from a QR-enabled web app on the phone to a full food truck ecosystem that allowed for the company to book, have catering requests, find out where the truck is real time, all these advanced things, all because it has the power to do that. And that's important because a lot of the builders simply don't. Or if they do allow you to query loop through things, they're only going to give you a couple little things. With Bricks, it's very open-ended. You can basically query loop through anything. In fact, there's people that are query looping through APIs now, which, again, not to get you all going, oh, I don't even know what that means. Don't worry about it. That's later on. And you know what? There's many of you that'll never need to know that. So we're going to take this in small, palatable bites, and we'll get through it, and it'll be a whole lot easier than you think. Now, some people may be asking, do I need to know code to learn Bricks? No, you don't. It'd be good if you did. And Bricks is a great way to get exposed to a little bit of code. Again, you don't need to know a whole lot. And if you have a cell phone and you've ever made a phone call, you've used code. You know, the 7-digit number to call your friend, that's a code. And most code is that simple. It's something small. We're not talking about writing full-on, applications on a code level basis. We're typically talking about very small little chunks that, honestly, it's a few little tricks here and there, and you will be able to do things that you can't believe right now. So anyhow, I didn't want to get into this overtly in detail, but I did want to say that you should feel good about using Bricks, because as of right now, it is the most professional solution for WordPress, bar none. There's nothing faster, there's nothing more dynamic, and there's nothing that will teach you lessons that you'll use forever and not make you learn things that are only applicable to Bricks, because that would be a waste of time. So I hope you're going to like this course, and if you're seeing this on YouTube, you can go to bricksschool.com, sign up, it's free. You'll be getting the courses without the little sponsor bits in between. And yeah, hope to see you in the next video.